Hi everyone and welcome to the 313 quiz for U.S. History Part B. To locate your quiz, go over to the navigation bar on the left of your course screen and click on the Unit 3 tab. This will extend the unit to see the individual items. Go down to 313 quiz just underneath the 313 War's End lesson. Click on the quiz and the screen will pop up. Click on 313 quiz to begin. Read the reminders and enter the quiz now. During this video, I will be reading the quiz questions and answer options to help you with the quiz. As you take the quiz, make sure to save your answers as you go, and at the end, submit your quiz for grading so it shows up successfully to me in the gradebook. Your quiz for 313 has a total of 15 questions worth 1 point each. Number 1, what was the main reason for the rise of dictators in Europe and Asia during the 1930s? Dictators controlled the armies, people were too exhausted to vote, dictators promised economic recovery and order, or people felt dictators would prevent another war. Number 2, which country was not invaded by European and Asian dictators during the 1930s? Manchuria, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, or Vietnam? Number 3, why had the United States returned to isolationism by the 1930s? People felt World War I had been fought for nothing and wanted to avoid a second conflict. Congress wanted to concentrate on economic problems at home. President Roosevelt was opposed to providing any assistance for Asia or Europe. Or people believed that the United States should model self-sufficiency for Europe and Asia. Number 4, all of the following describe ways that FDR assisted the Allies before entering World War II, except providing supplies through a cash and carry program, beginning the Lend-Lease program that exchanged supplies for the use of military bases, endorsing legislation that required men to participate in 1 year of military service, or offering the surveillance services of military intelligence to allow the British to target the Luftwaffe. Number 5, what eventually brought the United States into World War II? Germany attacked U.S. ships off the coast of Newfoundland. Italy surrounded U.S. supply ships in the Mediterranean. Japan bombed U.S. ships in Pearl Harbor. Or Germany invaded France and began bombing London. Number 6, what was one way the United States met the challenge of producing supplies for U.S. troops in World War II? Companies stepped up production of both military and civilian goods. Federal agencies were established to help civilian manufacturers retool. The government eased tariffs and imported raw materials. The military organized its own production and manufacturing arm. Number 7, how did the role of women change during World War II? Women filled most of the available government jobs. Women became doctors in much larger numbers. Large numbers of women shared group homes while the men served in the military. Large numbers of women entered both the civilian workforce and the military. Number 8, during World War II, many African Americans served in the military or worked in the federal government. Many others moved to northern cities to work in industry. What opportunity remained closed to African Americans during the war? Membership in labor unions, jobs in war-related factories, management positions in government jobs, integrated army regiments. Number 9, how did Americans participate in the war effort on the home front? They accepted rationing and saved scrap metal. They bought war bonds and new cars. They commuted further to work but conserved as much gasoline as possible. They planted victory gardens and avoided moving. Number 10, which was the most serious constitutional question raised by the presence of internment camps in the United States during World War II? Most detainees were U.S. citizens held without charges or the prospect of a speedy hearing. Camps prevented detainees from exercising their rights to bear arms. Detainees were not allowed to speak freely to one another and practice their religions, or the press was not permitted to report on activities inside the camps. Number 11. What was the main idea behind President Roosevelt's Four Freedoms speech? Roosevelt wanted all nations to adopt the U.S. system of democracy. Roosevelt believed security, civil rights, and access to basic needs were universal rights. Roosevelt was letting the Axis powers know that they should fear U.S. might. Roosevelt was reminding U.S. citizens to be grateful for what they had while making the sacrifices for war. Number 12, which was not a U.S. military success in the Pacific Theater? Midway, Bataan, Guadalcanal, or Okinawa? Number 13, the United States ended the war by dropping the first atomic bombs in August of 1945. Where did the United States drop the bombs? Tokyo and Osaka, Sapporo and Kyoto, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, or Edo and Yoshikawa? Number 14, who was not a key U.S. commander in World War II? Douglas MacArthur, Chester Nimitz, Dwight Eisenhower, or Robert McNamara? Which battle was a key part of the Allied offense to defeat Germany? The D-Day invasion at Normandy, the Battle of Midway, the Battle of Britain, or the Battle of Stalingrad? Please again make sure to save your answers, and then when you're finished, submit for grading. Good luck on your quiz, and if you have any questions at all, please contact me.